Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. But God is really using you to help me up.
What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. I want to welcome you to another episode of Aos The Podcast. I'm Mr. Aos Inspires. I want to welcome each and every one of you. This is your first time listening to a podcast from Aos Inspires, Aos The Podcast. So I need you to go ahead and share this podcast now, talking about something heavy and deep, because you already know our mission here at Aos The Podcast is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you get to the next level. And I believe that this conversation that we're having today is next level type conversation. I think that this is something that a lot of people battle with. And a lot of people keep this quiet. They don't want to talk about it too much. That's real. I think that a lot of people battle with this in secret. And I want to drop some practical tools. I just want to talk to you for a little bit. Just a little while, not too long, so that we can work through this thing. I think we can navigate through this thing well. I think that if you apply the principles that we're going to talk about in today's episode and just live it out, like for real. It's crazy because, let me start off like this. It's crazy because so many people in a world where people are getting used in relationships. It's crazy. It's still happening that people are so thirsty, watch this, to be in a relationship that they will put up with anything. Like, for real, all my sisters and all my brothers out there, know your value, right? Listen, and in order to know your value, you have to do two things. You have to know who you are, and you have to love yourself, period. Those are the two things to start with. There's other things that you have to do as well to know your value, but I believe that when you start with knowing your identity, knowing who you are, and loving yourself, I believe that that's two ways that you can build up your value and understand your value. Because it's crazy, because so many people are women and men. Let's really be honest. This is no exclusion. This is women and men. A lot of people are doing whatever to be in relationships just to say, I'm with this person, or just to say I'm not alone, or better yet, just to say, hey, I got somebody safe to have sex with. And the crazy part about it is, even if you're in a relationship, if you're married, committed, whatever, is sometimes in some situations it's still not safe. I know I've heard of some married couples that have brought home an STD. I've heard of some committed couples, engaged couples that has brought home some STDs. I've heard of some couples that just got together, right? And just, and brought home some STDs, right? Why? Because of, number one, cheating, of course. Let's put it out there, cheating. Or because I believe, this is what I believe. You don't have to believe this. You don't have to adopt this, but I believe this. I believe that when you love yourself, you will be careful how, and I'm going to give you a proof. You'll be careful who you have sex with, period. Like, when you really love yourself, you like, hold on. This happened a little bit too fast for you. You want to do what? Nah, this happened a little bit too fast. When you love yourself, you have boundaries, right? But watch this. Would you walk, and this is real talk, now some of y'all just crazy like that, but would you walk on top of a bridge that has a thin wire without a harness? No. For the most part, most people won't. I think it's a 99% people that won't do that. Why? Because I don't want to die. I value my life. And that's the same way. When you value your life, you be like, hold on. Nah. I don't think so. I don't think that I can go there with you just yet. I don't know you enough. Let's really be honest. So during this episode, that's what I want to break down. I want to break down the part of knowing your identity, but not just knowing your identity, but I need you to love yourself, right? Because many of you are so thirsty, and this is what I tell you, women, when you in fact are not thirsty to be with a man, he won't just serve you anything to drink because you know your value. Men, when you in fact are not thirsty to have sex with a woman, she cannot serve you anything, just anything to drink. Why? Because I know my value. And not only do I know my value, I'm showing you that I know my value, right? Because this is a big thing too. I'm gonna give every single a cheat code real fast. This is a cheat code for every single. Watch this. If they don't call you back, don't be so pressed to call them and check. No. Like when you first meet a person and their pattern change, adjust. Right? So if you notice that every single day, and I'm not saying if they did it one time, no, I'm not saying that. Let's be reasonable. But if you met a person and you guys used to text every single day and they respond like this for the first 5 days or whatever, and maybe one day they have, but if it's consistent, 2 and 3 days, adjust, fall back. This is one thing that I tell people. You need to let them know that you like them, but don't let them know that you like them. Make that make sense, Aos The Podcast. Let them know that you like them, but don't let them know that you like them. How do you do that? You show interest, but you don't press too hard. Men and women, don't press too hard, because when you press too, watch this. When you press too hard, they will take advantage of you liking them too much. And some people, if you like them too much, that's a turn off. That's a push away. Like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good. Like you moving too fast, right? But then some people, they fall in love fast, and it's cool in the game. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat, you do that. Period. Like if you the type of person and they're the type of person that catch feelings real fast, and I wouldn't recommend it, but whatever floats your boat, do your thing. But what I am saying is, don't put full court pressure on the person. Take your time. So, but what I really want to dive in deep on today is, do you love me, or do you love what our relationship does for you? That's the whole premise of what I want to talk about, because in order for us to get to that, you got to know your identity. You got to love yourself, not like yourself. You got to love yourself, right? I have an issue with singles not wanting to go out to dinner with themselves or to go out to the movies by yourself. I got an issue with that. Like, you need somebody to accompany you. Like, I need you to spend some time. You need to be so dope and so in tune with yourself that I can go out by myself and have a ball and have the same exact exciting time I can with you. I would rather have you now. I would love to have you with me, but I can go out by myself and be cool. Period. But the question that I want to raise today that many people talk about, do you love me? Or do you love what our relationship does for you? Now, this is a big one. You notice the shift in relationships. Watch this. You notice shift in relationships when you have to say no. Do you still love me if my answer is no? To whatever it is, Maybe it's and it's crazy. It bothers me all the time. Why? Because people will ask you for favors, ask you to do things, and you do it. Like 10 things in a row and you do it. But that 11th thing that you got to say no to, oh, you ain't never there for me. Y'all heard it before. Y'all know the story. Y'all know how they act. It's crazy because you can do something for somebody for so long and you're there for them. But soon as you have to say no, it's like you're the evil person. You're the villain. Like, it's like, man, you ain't never there for me. You never supported me. Men and women alike, right? Men do the same thing to women and women do the same thing to men. But I need you to really look at listen, I'm going to tell you this. If you're married, look at it. If you're in the relationship, look at it. If you're engaged, look at it. Look at the relationship and ask yourself. Don't ask them, right? Because sometimes you can cause some controversy and it doesn't need to be caused. It's just you and your feelings. But I need you to ask yourself this and really analyze your relationship with this person. Do they really love me? Or do they love what the relationship does for them? Now, let's break it down. Many people are in relationship because the other partner has money, right? And I tell people this all the time. Yes, you can fall in love with the person because they have money. Or yes, you can learn to love a person. Y'all seen America. You can fall in love with a person because they have money, right? You can not love a person or not like a person in the beginning, but their money is attractive and it creates stability. And many of y'all, many women, not many of y'all know this, know these people. Many women have married guys that's not they type, but bruh got money. He has a stable life. He has a stable career, right? And he can create a stability. And she fell in love with the stability, not him. She's putting up with him. Like, she can learn to love him and be faithful to him and do everything else she needs for him because he provides this lifestyle. I like to tell people I understand, right? When you understand something does not necessarily mean that you agree with it, right? I don't agree with it, but I understand, right? Especially when women have been, or even men do this too, have been in so many bad relationships after relationships, and you're tired of struggling. And it's like, listen, and I get it. Some of y'all will be super deep and be like, why don't you just create something for themselves? And that's true. Create something for yourself. And let me do a sidebar. I'm acting ADHD right now, but I tell women this all the time. If your father has given you guidance to say you need to find a man that can take care of you, I want to say disregard that. Because if you find a man that can take care of you, that's all cool in the gang. That's the old traditional way men take care of the women. I get it. But ladies, if you find a man that can take care of you, you can't take care of yourself. If something happens to him, you are going down the creek with no paddle. Period. That's real talk. So I tell people, I tell women, I tell my daughter, listen, this is what I tell my daughters. Never depend. If you go out with somebody, make sure you have enough money to get back home yourself. If you go out on a date, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all this too. If you go out on a date, make sure you have enough money to pay for your meal, your entertainment, and pay for a way for you to get back home if you didn't drive. And that's just in dating. Why? Because if I have to depend on you to do everything, I will find myself stranded if you catch an attitude and I don't got nobody to call. Period. Even men. Many of you date women that have money, that got the bag, right? But never put yourself in position. That's what I tell women and God. Never put yourself in position where you're solely financially relying on somebody else for your livelihood or somebody else for you to live or somebody else. No, because if God forbid, if you're not married, right, and you guys are just dating, and you guys been dating for 20 years, you have, unless they put it in the will or unless they put you as a beneficiary or whatever, you have no access to what they have. They've been taking care of you for all these years. You have no access to it because you're not married. You lose. So if something happens to this person and you're not able to take care of yourself, what's going to happen? You're going to look for the next highest bidder, or you're going to look for the next person that can take care of you. That's garbage. Learn to take care of yourself. Learn to get your own bag. Learn to put food on your own table. Learn to put clothes on your own back. I get it. Everybody, I can't even say just women. Everybody want to live this luxury lifestyle. And if they say they don't, they are lying. They lying. They lies through your teeth. Who doesn't want to live a life of luxury? Now, I'm not saying that everybody wants to get a Rolls Royce or everybody wants to get a Phantom or everybody wants to get a Wraith. I'm not saying that. Or everybody wants to get a G-Wagon. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, everybody has some type of luxury like that they like. Whether it's 1,000-count spreadsheets, or whether it's a type of bed, whether it's a type of furniture, whether it's a 70-inch TV, whatever it is, everybody has some type of luxury likes, right? You may not want to live a luxury lifestyle, but the truth of the matter is, yes, you do. Subconsciously, you're saying, I don't, but subconsciously, you really do. Because I can tell by what you purchased. Let me get back on topic before I get off topic. I need you to rely on you. Be dependent on you. But as you're in your relationship, you need to ask this question. Married couples, single, engaged, everybody that's in relationship. Do they love me for me, or do they love what this relationship does for them? Now, let's scratch money. Influence. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I had somebody pursue me. This was years ago. I had somebody pursue me because I have a big following on social media. Now I'm looking at it now as I'm building now. It's like, yo, my following ain't nowhere. But before, I mean, like, it was like that. It was like that. It was nothing for me to have 5,000-10,000 views. After I went live, close it out, 10,000 people watched it. Like, it was nothing, right? But I'm looking at it now, and I'm kind of ashamed of my numbers back then in comparison to now as I begin to, understand more and grow. But they were attracted to what my presence looked like on social media and my presentation looked like on social media, right? They found me. I didn't find them. They found me. And what's crazy is I had to ask this question. Do you want me for me, or do you want me for what my status or my influence can do for this relationship? And what's crazy is the person, when we were talking, right, they had, I want to say 900, not even 900, about 600 followers. And after they posted me, it went up to like 2,000 followers, right? It's crazy. But you need to ask yourself that question. Is this person in relationship with me for me, or what our relationship does for them, right? And it's crazy because people's emotions or people's the way they treat you would change when you got to say no. I need you to quantify this stuff. I need you to qualify people before you begin to go in too deep with them. And as I close, I'm going to tell you this. Married couples, before they get married, engaged couples, this is the number one question I ask. What is something about this person that you don't like? I ask both of them the same thing. What is one thing about them that you don't like? And if they say something silly like, I like everything about it, you ain't ready to get married. That's facts. Like if you can't list one thing that you don't like about the person, chances are you don't like them for them. You like them for what their relationship or your relationship does for you, right? Like, let's really be honest, because anybody that really loves you would give you the hard answer or give you an answer that's the truth that you really don't want to hear, but it's coming from a place of love. I ask every engaged couple that I talk to, what is one thing that you don't like about the person? Then my follow-up question is, after they tell me, oh, he drinks a lot. Okay, great. Love it. Okay. Now let me ask you the second question. If that never changes, would you be okay? If they say no, we need to extend the counseling session. But if they say yes, I mean, it's something that we need to talk about. But many of you all get into relationships assuming that the very thing that you hate is going to change, and it might not change. So the question becomes, is that going to change your love for the person if this issue never changes? I need y'all to think about that. I just helped about 20 of y'all that's engaged right now look at your marriage or your relationship totally different. I got to ask the last question before I leave. Do you love me, or do you love what our relationship does for you? Listen, I'm out of here. This episode is brought to you by Winning After a Major Loss. I got to do a commercial real fast, y'all. Winning After a Major Loss, a publication that we produced in 2016 that has crushed the industry. People have been transformed by this book, Winning After a Major Loss. We have sold hundreds of copies of this book that we published in 2016. I need you to go to Amazon right now. Go to barnesandnoble.com right now. Type in Winning After a Major Loss. Get your copy and get your life changed. I love you guys to life. This is AOS The Podcast, and I'll see you later.